The real ornament of a woman is her character, her purity. A coward is incapable of exhibiting love. It is the prerogative of the brave. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Knowledge gained through experience is far superior and many times more useful than bookish knowledge. A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. A policy is a temporary creed liable to be changed, but while it holds good, it has got to be pursued with apostolic zeal. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary. The evil it does is permanent. I reject any religious doctrine that does not appeal to reason and is in conflict with morality. I suppose leadership at one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people. Do not judge others. Be your own judge and you will be truly happy. If you try to judge others, you are likely to burn your fingers. I would heartily welcome the union of East and West provided it is not based on brute force. If cooperation is a duty, I hold that non-cooperation also under certain conditions is equally a duty. If I had no sense of humor, I would long ago have committed suicide. If patience is worth anything, it must endure to the end of time. And a living faith will last in the midst of the blackest storm. If we are to teach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with the children. Imitation is the sincerest flattery. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. In matters of conscience, the law of the majority has no place. In prayer, it is better to have a heart without words than words without a heart. Increase of material comforts, it may be generally laid down, does not in any way whatsoever conduce to moral growth. Infinite striving to be the best is man's duty. It is its own reward. Everything else is in God's hands. Interdependence is and ought to be as much the ideal of man as self-sufficiency. Man is a social being. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. The future depends on what we do in the present. It's easy to stand in the crowd, but it takes courage to stand alone. Our greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves. Service without humility is selfishness and egotism. It does not require money to live neat, clean, and dignified. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. Satisfaction lies in the effort, not in the attainment. Hate the sin, love the sinner. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. Seek not greater wealth, but simpler pleasure, not higher fortune, but deeper felicity. There are 2 days in the year that we cannot do anything, yesterday and tomorrow. There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Those who know how to think need no teachers. What barrier is there that love cannot break? Honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. To lose patience is to lose the battle. No man loses his freedom except through his own weakness. My faith is brightest in the midst of impenetrable darkness. The law of love could be best understood and learned through little children. Truth without humility would be an arrogant caricature. Your action expresses your priorities. That service is the noblest which is rendered for its own sake. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Even if the paradise of material satisfaction, which they envisage as their final goal, were realized on earth, it would not bring mankind either contentment or peace. To believe in something, and not to live it, is dishonest. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. When there is war, the poet lays down the lyre, the lawyer his law reports, the schoolboy his books. The real love is to love those that hate you, to love your neighbor even though you distrust him. Truth is by nature self-evident. As soon as you remove the cobwebs of ignorance that surround it, it shines clear. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. A small group of determined and like-minded people can change the course of history. It is the quality of our work which will please God and not the quantity.